Hi, Krystan Alexandra Bray with the Ormus Temple, talking to you about the experiences that I am having as the result of practicing the Jivan Mukti Vrata program with Paramahansa Nithyananda's Life Bliss organization. If you watched the first video, that you know that I was talking about the experience of seeing a star-like expression just outside of my window last night, and I talked about the heightening of frequency resulting in perhaps the expression of the condensation. Now I just wanted to make a point with that, in that anything of the molecular world, the physical world, including condensation, something as simple as water condensation, is an expression of consciousness, the God element, energized by light, living life, or the goddess element. This marriage is the first tantric experience and creates form. So again, as that consciousness heightens by the vibration, which is heightening, the form that is expressed heightens, becomes more brilliant. So even with considering the intelligence that may be conveyed in that water molecule, there is still some reference to just how much consciousness was there. Was it watching me? Was it some way reflecting back to me, instilling in me revelation, helping my awareness to expand? Was I feeding it? These are just all things that, come across my mind, and just witnessing the effect that the vibrations being nourished by this process are conveying to me. Now, there were other things that I mentioned that have come up since day one and coming into day two. I include in my program an intense running or jogging exercise. So I'll jog out so far, and then I'll do the cathartic breathing, followed by the intense humming, and then by the Guru mantra, Om Hrim Nithyananda Namaha. Now, in that mantra, we learn that Wum and Hrim are sounds that enliven the bija in us, the goddess wisdoms in us. Nithyananda is a word that means eternal bliss. And Namaha means not me. So actually what you're repeating in this Guru mantra, which you're feeding into your being and affecting your whole physiology with, is the idea of the awakening of the goddess wisdoms in you, enlightenment in you, and moving beyond the biophysiology, the engrams that are stored in our neural network that color our perception normally just out of our physical experience. We're moving beyond our physical intelligence to the divinity within us and allowing that to be expressed, to take over this physical body, which is designed by it for the purpose of it to experience itself. So we're actually being able to enjoy life from the perspective of our own divinity. That is an awakening, and that is what enlightenment is all about, what this practice is all about as well. I mentioned that trust issues came up for me, and I'm sure that issues will come up for you as you're going through this process. Just spend some time. This is how in our heart chakra we are able to transform our fears into courage. It takes courage to take the time to break away from our routine, the very things that we are so convinced sustain us, to spend some time internally and get to the truth of our sustenance. So, that's where the transformation is happening, in the heart, as we begin to witness in the heart. And of course we have to spend some time inside. And that's why the chakra meditations of this practice are so important. So if you are going to do any parts of this process, and not all of it, then I would suggest that you focus in on the morning meditation rituals. If you don't know what is all involved in that, if you happen to miss the broadcast on that, jot down a note and let me know what your questions are, and I'll fill you in as much as I can. I am looking for a copy of that video. I'm sure one exists out here, so that I can post it for you and you can see for yourself exactly what was mentioned. I noticed that in my meditation I had not covered with you after the Guru mantra that you repeat 108 times. That's the Om Hrim Nithyananda Ye Namaha mantra. After you've repeated that, the closure in gratitude consists of, in your position, seated position, spine erect, lifting your arms up, something as we see done in the charismatic churches as we're experiencing being spirit-filled, which is very much an African transcendence, even through Euro-Christianity in our churches, as we experience this spirit-filled effect. We bring ourselves to that even in our Christian experience. So hands up and back. You can't see it all on the video, but that's it. Hands up and back, so that you're slightly bent back, allowing that spirit to flow through you, from your heart up, through your head down, and through your gate up, just filling you. And then coming from that position down, bringing your head down and putting your forehead against the floor, connecting with the earth element in gratitude, and repeating that motion 3 times as you breathe slowly, breathing fully into your lungs, into your heart, holding, and then breathing back out. So, I hope these tips will help you as you're practicing this with me. Let me see, what else did I want to share with you here? We talked about the star, we talked about trust issues. As I was down by the pier this morning, after having completed half of the run and moving into the cathartic breathing, I walked past a man with a little one, maybe about 2-3 years old. And the little one was just about to reach out and touch a cart that was propped up against the rail by the river there, and he was very protectively saying, no, don't touch that, and explaining why, talking about the elements, the dirt that would be on there, and so on and so forth. And then showing the little one something about the seagulls that were flying around. And I noticed he was talking intensely and describing what was going around and sharing that information in such a kind and sweet and loving way. And I thought about how difficult it is for so many of us to take that special quality time in sharing and teaching our little ones. And what came up in me is a direct reference to some of our African traditions coming out of even the Kemetic yoga traditions, and that we have always carried the belief of honoring our ancestors, and we have always recognized that when our ancestors are transcending out of form, that their consciousness and their spirit comes back into form. And oftentimes when we have our little ones in our presence, we can recognize the presence of the spirit of our ancestors in them. This is a tradition that has been practiced from the beginning of time for those of us of African descent, that we've very much been pried away from in the system of things as it exists today. And it's just inspired my heart to share with you, to be conscious of that as you look upon your little ones, making that connection between the new birth in the new form and the ancestral connection of the old form that has transcended on. Our children are our assurance to our physical immortality. That's how we do it. So it's important to honor our ancestors. It's important to honor our elders in our society, because all of this is a continuation of our being, of our own being. The little one is a continuation of us, and we're a continuation of those who have lived before us. So even in this process, the Jivan Mukti Vrata that we're doing now, it's opening up the realization and validating that realization of our continuity, passing from generation to generation, and the importance of accepting that and entertaining that with love and cherishing that, bringing out that spirit so that it can live, it can move through its learning process and evolve and open up. Because as it does, we're opening up. There's only one of us here. We are all in one connected, greater collective body. And to get the most out of that experience, we have to let the fear go. We have to let that need we have to protect ourselves and thereby separate ourselves from one another. It isn't just me and no one else. It's not just me and mine and no one else. We are all one. We are all one. So in that revelation, I am inspired to share with you. Take some time and really look at how you're relating to the little ones and how you're relating to the elders, and are you honoring our ancestral heritage that runs through us? Are you honoring the whole of our life expression? And if you are, great, honor it some more. And if you're not, or if you're you see that you're falling short in any way, don't fall into self-condemnation. Just open up. It shows you the point of your growth. It shows you where your work is at. And believe me, as you do that, you are going to expand and you are going to heighten in frequency. Your magnetic attraction is going to improve so that you're not attracting what's dominant in your heart, which may happen to be fears at this time, or it may be anger or hatred or greed or lust, which again just all relates back to fears at this time. So just transforming, transcending that, so that the love, your nature, your natural being can come out. Your divinity can come out. And you can take hold of all of what you are in your creative, manifesting right to be who you are in living that. So just another revelation I wanted to share with you as I'm moving through this process of Jivan Mukti Vrata. I'd love to hear from you. I hope that some of these things are triggering some realization of what's coming up for you, and you're taking a closer look at that and getting the benefit from that. To hear more, watch some more videos. Krystan Alexandra Bray signing off once again. Peace.